This is how I lost $733 day trading ES. And today is November 4th, but this trade was actually from over a week ago. I just have not really had the time to film this trade recap, but I wanted to come back and do it because I really do want to show every trade that I take and do upload every trade that I do end up taking onto my YouTube channel. This trade was from last Monday, October 27th. It was a trade towards the end of the month. It was a Monday, like I had mentioned. And coming into that Monday, we had a dip on China news a week or two before, and then we really have been rallying ever since. So this last Monday, like I mentioned, coming into the Monday, we also had news last week on Wednesday, Thursday, a bunch of tech earnings, and we also had Fed rate data that dropped Wednesday as well. It was anticipated that the rate was going to drop 25 bit points, which it did. And what this gap up is essentially that rate drop being priced in the Monday before. So 2 days before the rate cut was announced, the market is pricing this in. And there was also news that Trump was going to meet with the president of China to negotiate a trade deal as well to end all the tariff news that is going on. So opening up Monday, there was this massive gap across the charts, both indexes, and really on all tech stocks and all stocks in the market as well. But if we drop down here to the hourly, you can see this hourly gap that's formed. I mean, this gap is 828, 40 points on ES, 475. It's over 200 points on NQ. So whenever we have a new week opening gap like this was just me thinking out loud before the market opened. We usually see these new week opening gaps get filled very aggressively, especially when the gap is this large. So coming into during Asia session and London session, we can see that we really just print green candles. We're just grinding up on both indexes. So for me, I felt like that was setting up for, by itself, a good bear setup. But nonetheless, we have to wait for the market's confirmation. Now, what I also saw, and I'm sure you can see it now as well, at the 9:30 open, let me get both of these to the 9:30 open. We can see that we have a SMT going on here from this opening week wick down to London session, because we have not made a new high, and to where price is relatively now on ES. But on NQ, we put in new highs constantly. We can see that this, Asia session and London session both above this hourly level here, this new week opening level here. So if I drop down here to the 5-minute, we can see even more what this looks like. If I get to our 9:30 open, which is right there, that's our 9:35. Right here is our 9:35. We can see that immediately among market open, NQ comes up, takes out London session. So immediately we have a SMT at London session, where NQ takes out London session, ES does not. Also paired with this higher time frame hourly SMT, dual SMT on the opening week level, where NQ is above this higher time frame level here, and ES is underneath it. So dual SMTs here, which looks very good for ES shorts at market open. Now, among that, after we put in this wick, like we always talk about, we have to see what price is showing us at the time. So pre-market, we get a 5-minute break of structure to the downside on ES. Also have that on NQ, 5-minute break of structure to the downside. We never get a break of structure to the upside until 10 a.m. So really for the next 15 minutes in the open, we're still maintaining bearish order flow on the 5-minute. Now, what also ends up happening is ES comes down, first 10 minutes open, puts in relatively equal lows with land session low. So for me, among this 5-minute move to the downside, I saw how relatively equal these lows were, paired with the fact that we have dual SMTs that we mentioned, paired with the fact that this opening week gap is so large. I felt that this was just such a free target. I ultimately ended up debating setting my first take profit at this new week opening gap level because it's such a strong draw on liquidity, but I didn't. But we'll get into my entry here in a minute. So we have bearish order flow pre-market that we end up holding during market open, and from there we have a higher time frame SMT. We have a London session SMT. From there, I thought to myself, okay, once we get this move down and this retrace up on the 5-minute, I am ready to begin looking for shorts on ES. So what this looks like is this is the 5-minute candle closure on ES. We have this 1-minute fair value gap here. And ultimately, I really thought about entering on this candle close on the disrespect of this 1-minute fair value gap holding. So once this gap gets inversed, I really thought about entering here, setting stops above highs, and then just targeting this gap as first take profit. But I told myself, no, entering a trade early has ended up, biting me in the butt and screwing me. And for me to enter a trade early, I really need more than 2 SMTs. We have one on a higher time frame, we have one in a session, a 5-minute SMT here, a 1-minute SMT give me extra validation to enter a trade early. So what we end up doing is making this 5-minute retrace, putting in equal highs here with ES, and what this looks like on NQ is we have a 1-minute SMT. NQ takes out these 1-minute highs. So upon that and a bearish candle closure, I entered in ES, risking these highs. I believe what I did was I entered in on this candle here. I entered in down here because this candle looked like it was about to be a very bearish close. I risked these highs, ended up waking up. Nonetheless, we have a higher time from SMT, 5-minute SMT, maintaining 5-minute bearish order flow, paired with a 1-minute SMT after a 5-minute retrace. I was feeling very confident in this trade to go short. But you can see almost immediately within 10 minutes, I end up getting stopped out. Now, and what this ended up playing out to be was a trade where we come down and we may have put in a 5-minute SMT from this level to this level, and then this level to this level to allow us to move higher. But to me, I really didn't place much emphasis on that because I'm going to play the higher time frame SMT all of the time. And our next high, and on NQ, I apologize. We had already made a higher time frame or the all-time high on the 5-minute candle before that. So I did not think that this random 5-minute SMT would have taken priority over this daily level, and paired with the London session SMT, and paired with the 1-minute SMT that we got between all the indexes, or between both indexes. So to me, I was very confident taking this trade. It is a normal trading loss I would take again. I saw TJR also take this trade, and I believe this is a day where he had a very just not ideal trading day. It was a day after I think he had a big blow up where he lost about 250 or 300K, and then also lost this trade. But this was also a trade that I took and I would take again. I was had a very strong bias, and the bias was confirmed by the SMTs. Honestly, higher time frame SMT, 5-minute London session SMT, 1-minute SMT where we put in equal 1-minute highs, reaction out of it. So I was really ready to target London session low, Asia session low, and this new week opening gap. I would take this trade again. I would also take it again with good size, decent size, like I did this trade. Like I said, I lost $733, but I am looking back, I am not upset at this trade at all. And I have not taken a trade since because price action has just not been very predictable. Market not the market, but the government's been shut down for a month now. So news data has been sparse to come by, and also chopping at all-time highs. If I pull up, I'll pull up the charts right now. I mean, just well, no, I'm not because I've got my playback set, but just not ideal price action. It's been 9 days since I've taken a trade, 8 days since I've taken a trade. Today's Tuesday, the 4th. I haven't taken a trade since this one that I'm noting here, which was last Monday, the 27th. But I'm completely fine not doing that. I'm waiting for the market to present itself and show what it's going to show. I've had some new developments in my personal life as well, which I don't think are affecting my trading. I've had some things going on with my family, but obviously everybody's got their problems going on. But this was last Monday's trade recap. I can only put trades out as I take them, and I haven't taken one in 9 days. So we'll see what the rest of this week presents. I'm planning to put out a psychology video here soon because I have not done that in a long time. I just like getting my thoughts out, talking to myself, and reaffirming the mindset that I have when it does come to trading. But this was last Monday's trade recap, and thank you.